Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today, well, we've had another month, so another dev diary. So this is going to be the diary for April 2024 for Prehistoric Kingdom. I feel like this one just rolled around so quickly. I only just recently did the one for March. So it obviously that was a month ago, but it felt so much quicker. I think it's just because like lots of things happening in my life at the moment, just happening a lot. But anyway, still pretty cool. So we've got for April 2024, obviously April 30th, that's when it came out. So welcome to the April development update. So in this bite-sized post, we'll be providing more information about update 11, public testing branch or public test branch, and showcasing some important changes to the fence system. And if you'd like to learn more about update 11 as a whole, check out last month's devlog. So I already covered that, and that's going to be some of the things that will be coming. So, state of development, let's have a look. To keep it brief, development for Update 11 is going well. The logistics system is essentially complete and pending integration with staff and more UI elements. Staff themselves are coming along with a lot of work being done on their models and animations. Although staff and logistics won't make the initial PTB or public test branch release of Update 11, we're pleased with how they're developing and look forward to share more with you soon. So update 11 is going to be the first, as I mentioned, the features. So we're going to talk about some of the things that will be coming. So the first version, update 11, we're hitting the Steam public test branch in May 10th. So that's only in a couple of weeks. This build will contain the following new features: new species. We have Leolinosaura coming in. New modules, new basic and backstage props, which is really cool. Improved fence and staff gates, improved excavation systems, improved in GUI flow. So that's graphics, GUI. So excavation's all real cool. So we'll be rolling out logistics and staff-related gameplay to the public testing branch as the development continues. In the meantime, players will have access to the new staff-related modules such as the loading bay, staff center, and fossil depot to prepare parks and create custom prefabs. So that's pretty cool. One of the other changes we've made is to the animal nursery. So, like the animal depot, this will be the only one animal nursery module per park. Now accessible through the park service menu. So that'll be interesting. The current module design eventually will be converted to props, with a new building and nursery UI revamp coming down the line. So we'll basically have to have one animal nursery nodule. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, the current nursery menu, you can see this is what it's looking like, and now as well you can see the new UI changes, and you can also see that a lot of animals that are split into different species or different genera will be coming up as their own thing. As you can see, different species of Dacosaurus, different species of Pachyrhinosaurus, different species of Triceratops, different species of Smilodon and Panthera, Panthera atrox and Panthera splair, cave American lion. Also, Cynotherium, which is a new genus as well, and so it's kind of all split everyone a little bit more, which is quite cool. And as always, the public testing branch will include experimental changes that won't reflect in the final Update 11 release. The team is working to add more content, polish, and progressively finalize the update. And this year, we're aiming to utilize the public testing branch more frequently so that players can check in to see what we're up to, even if it's in development. So that's quite cool. So that gives you pretty much a little rundown of a lot of the stuff that's coming. GUI just stands for, like graphics, user interface or something like that. So updated, basically graphics. So it makes the game look much nicer. So we can see some examples of that here. It looks much nicer, I think, personally. So let's have a look. So update 11, this is one coming fence rework. So warning, 12,000 volts. So that's definitely a lot of volts, especially for keeping your T-Rexes out. So over the years, fences and enclosures have accumulated a lot of tech debt due to having some of the oldest code in the game. They were so old, in fact, that they actually predate the modular building system. And with staff needing to access enclosures pretty soon, we had two options: band-aid gates onto the old code and rework fences down the line, or rework fences now but delay update public testing branch to May 10th, which is, I think, the smarter decision, and it's what they went with. We chose the second option, and a little over a week, our awesome programs not only rebuilt the fencing system from the ground up, but improved performance and added support for modular staff gates. So that's pretty cool, and just in a week too. Really, really awesome. On the technical side, these new features are fences are way less rigid to work with, and have allowed the team to add some excellent quality of life improvements to for our users. So you can see that's a lot better than it was. You can see. So for example, when placing fences, they now collide and snap to existing sections rather than just clipping to them. So you can see like you put it. It's very similar to like how it would work in Zoo Tycoon or even Planet Zoo. Sometimes it'll clip into each other. So now you can just add it to an existing piece. So that's quite cool as well. And also the maximum length segment has been increased. That makes it quite easy to create circular habitats. There's also a new line indicator that appears once the max length has been reached. So that's quite interesting. I don't think we've actually seen the max length, but you can see. Managed to pull it around and make it quite curved. Really, really awesome. I love how intuitive this is. Really, really nice. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is another great example of how these fences will work. It looks very intuitive, very good. And if touching an existing segment, Angle Snap now uses its local direction rather than devoting to the world grid. And that means if you're building fences at a strange angle and decide to use Angle Snap, i.e. 45 degrees, 90 degrees, etc., the game will automatically account for it, you can see. So new placement, so you can go, oh, and it's perfect. So that's quite cool. So that's really, really helpful, especially when you make new things. Quite cool. And then you have another one is here, so you can come in here, put it in the middle, and it can go from any part really much within your fences. So that's a really interesting rework and really important. Also, when replacing fence designs, the preview is now in real time, so you can see an example below. So you can see, come up, oh, new fence, new fence, new fence. So you get like a quick preview of how it will look before you replace it. So that's quite cool. Definitely a big fan of that. And also you can see we've got staff modules now, lots of gates and fences and things. So modular staff gate modules can be attached to fences, updating in real time. So that's temporary gate art, but it will be changed eventually. These will eventually allow staff to pass into enclosures once they are included in update 11. So hopefully we get a guest one as well. That'd be quite cool, but nice to see some fences and all that. On top of this, fence is not only rendering faster, but taking up way less memory. And thanks to new infrastructure, it's going to be so much easier for us to tackle things like fence maintenance and animal breakouts in the future. So basically just reworking the code to be a lot newer and nicer, so when you want to add things like animal breakouts or anything to do with maintenance, it just makes it so easy, much easier. And it was a needed improvement, and it's been done, so now you don't have to worry about it. So the improvements have been needed for a long time, and then we finally couldn't be happier to finally get it out of the way. So now you can move on to bigger and better things. And Update 11 as well, you can see here, Update 11's got basic theme props. So in Update 11 we've added a bunch of new backstage props as part of the basic theme. With stuff coming soon, we want to provide a few more items to make the game feel more real. So these are all really awesome. So you can see we've got a sink, shelving, different types of boxes, shovels, ladders. A lot of the people I work with are quite short, so they need a lot of ladders. I'm not short, I'm quite tall, so it doesn't bother me, but really, really cool. They definitely use step ladders all the time. Cones, to make sure people don't go to certain parts of the park. Or you can see all these different whiteboards and pinboards and things like that. That's quite cool. Staff meetings, quite important, especially if you want to put notes. You can just put it on the whiteboard, and it's sweet. Containers, ladders, all really cool, especially for bigger zoos. I work at a small zoo, but bigger zoos that I've been to and been with, they have a lot of the stuff, so that's quite cool. Very, very awesome. So now that's update 11. Now we're going to look into the future. So looking into the immediate future, everything discussed below will not be available in the initial update 11 build coming to the public testing branch, but instead will be added progressively. So the new species you can see during the update 11 new branch, a new sauropodomorph will be marching its way to your parks. Please welcome the broad lizard Plateosaurus. So here's a wonderful Plateosaurus. One of the larger species. There's a few different species. The taxonomy is a little bit here or there. I think I explained it when I covered them in Jurassic World Evolution 2 Mod Spotlight, the one that Hockowl did. There's a little bit of debate on their taxonomy, but there's generally at least 3 species recognized at the moment. I don't think there's any alt species, but you can see it's the big one. So that's Plateosaurus. So unlike its younger relatives currently featured in the game, well, let's have a look back up. Unlike its younger relatives currently featured in the game, this Jurassic dinosaur was bipedal, featuring short forelimbs and sharp claws. And our scientists have observed extreme size variation in adult specimens of Plateosaurus, which makes this species a particularly diverse bunch to look at. And that's actually something true in the fossil record. We do have a lot of variety in sizes. We have some adult individuals that are like 4 to 5 meters long, and then we have an adult individual of the same species that is like 10 meters long. So there's a lot of variation, very similar to like crocodilians in that regard. And I have to say, this guy just looks so awesome. Look at this guy. I love that this guy's got an update. He looks so good. Love the textures, and nice to see some more Jurassic animals. I'm definitely a fan of the Jurassic animals. So another new update as well, really awesome. So we're getting Animal Nursery revamp and Paleopedia. So during the Update 11 public testing branch, we'll be overhauling the Animal Nursery with a fresh design and new behavior. So our goal is to shy away from the general or default specimen and aim to increase display the actual individual that is being bred. So that means you'll be able to see potential mutations, size, and skin variations prior to creation. So every time you create an individual, a next one will appear different. So that's quite cool. So you can now look at it and be like, okay, this individual's got leucistic morph, or it's a big animal, or quite a small one. So I think that's really, really cool. Pretty much preview the morph, so you can really decide, especially when you're spending money on expensive animals, you can really decide what you want to get. So that's really, really cool. And it's cool that you can show it up on the UI, so you can see exactly what you're getting. So that's cool. So you'll be able to see different mutations in size and variations. So that's quite cool. And then also, as you see in the UI concept art above, all the habitat stats are missing, and we're like, oh, I wonder why. That's because everything you need to satisfy your animals has been moved to the Paleopedia, and an upcoming database that can be accessed from anywhere in the park. So you can see, as we see that here, all that. You can't see the things anymore. Lifespan, It's actually quite a short lifespan. Hopefully it's made longer. But you can see a good example. Mutation, none, adult size, kind of average individual. Next individual, you can change things, It's a really nice UI. I think it looks quite nice. But you can see as well, example of UI, back to Nigel's thoughts, never trust a Nceratops with your lunch. I'm not making that mistake again. That's definitely something Nigel will do. But you see, listen to introduction, fact 1, fact 2, fact 3. So these are the Nigel's tidbits. Who tells everyone about it. Suggested social grouping. So this is the information that you need to make them happy, their requirements, how many males and females should be, 1 to 2, and calculate. It actually calculates exhibit size for you, very similar to Planet Zoo in that regard. Tells you their biomes, and this is really cool. I like this. You can have compatible feeders, so this tells you all the feeders and things that can use it. I think it's easier than doing it in the Paleopedia than doing it from the tabs like how Planet Zoo does it. I think it's very much better. And since a lot of species descriptions are currently being written, we're adding them to the Paleopedia to a later date. Though here's an example of how it will look. So this is one for Nceratops, and you can read through there. I'm not going to read it for you, but this is how it will look in game. Really, really nice picture. I love that as well. Listen to Nceratops. You can listen to the sound. Tells you what it is and where it's found, and gives you all sorts of other information. So that's quite cool. Definitely a big fan of that. So yeah, that's definitely a good update. Let's have a look at the community spotlights. We can see Incog, who really makes some awesome stuff. Incog, we've got the Garden of Eden. So this is a really, really cool building. I love this building. It's almost like Victorian-esque, but like more modern too. So it's really, really cool. And you can see the different statues and things like that. Really nice pictures you can see by Lucy257. We've got a couple of woolly mammoths on the Canada map. Looks something straight out of the Pleistocene or straight out of the Holocene. That's quite cool. And this is another cool one. We've got by Gemini98. We have got either albino or I think it's leucistic or albino Torvosaurus, standing up. So very likely they would live like that long in the wild, but still really, really cool to see it. And I just love how all the forests will look in this game. It looks like damn near perfect. It's like realistic. Really, really cool. But anyway, so thank you for reading April's Dev Diary. Don't forget the initial public testing branch for Update 10 will go live on May 10th, and we're excited to have you with us for that journey and continue forward development. We continue development Update 11. So Update 11 is going to be very much something that's a work in progress. So it's going to be something over time because it's a lot of gameplay things. So you guys will always give you input, so if there's anything you like or don't like, I always give you input. But yeah, really cool update. Nice to see Plateosaurus. Nice to see some really overdue updates for things like fences, Also, the props are quite cool, quite a changed UI. I really love the new UI. So yeah, it's all my thoughts. Really, really cool. But yeah, I think this is a great place to end the video. So, hi guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to hit the little bell icon to get notified below anything. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye bye.